Welcome viewers to another edition of Brave Namibia, where we meet both ordinary and extraordinary Namibians. In our first clip today, Irina Marie van der Walt spoke to renowned artist Papa Shikongeni about the just passed New Beginnings exhibition.
We are very much excited with life and love because we are going to have an alumni, former students of the College of the Arts exhibition at the National Art Gallery on the 13th. Whereby is the spirit of 2008, where students who've graduated thought that it's good that if they can always have a new beginning exhibition. New beginning means that to see what was the impact that they get from the College of the Arts. So how can they now transport when they go into the real industry, the world of art? So this exhibition is also to bring back the spirit of students of the College of the Arts, also to bring back the networking. Because nowadays we are more divided because of technology. So we think because I WhatsApp you, I send something, we are connected, but not to lose that human being feel to come together face to face. So the exhibition is also to celebrate that students and also the lecturers and former lecturers can then come together as well and see. And the most important is how do we then see the marketing of visual art or the arts industry, the creative industry, innovative, and how they invented their new techniques in this year. So it is very excited, but mostly it's more seeing that, are we creating artists? You see, because also when you are at the school, the College of the Arts, it can be UNAM, can be everywhere, there's more theoretically, and intellectually art. You also be scared sometimes that maybe just going to become lecturers, or going to become graphic designers, or going to become curators. You understand? So there's also that thing that one also has to realize, So it's not only that you teach everybody and become artists. Some go and be marketing people. Some will only have the passion on it. Some have hobby. Some have the gift on it. Yeah, so for me, that's more important. When we look at graduation, yes, it's good that you asked from 2008 because the graduation is 2009, 13, 14, 15, 17. So it's all of those ones. And excepting also the one of last year. So it's a mix of that. So it's the celebration of all. So the development of art develops and it evolves in the human. And it evolves also in the way people practice. But there is now a different society of how does now art be marketed? Because there must be an aspect of marketing. Who's marketing this art that is created by these people? So is it that the development we are looking at, and how are they sustainable? Even though they can create, are they sustainable? Are they earning money? So for me, I always look at art like it's an employment, self-employment, but people don't look at it like that. So they also try to abuse it. Like in 2001, I said, they use artists as bubblegum artists. I did an exhibition like that in 2002 and 1, where I realized that why do you have creative industry, creative artists? They have a gift and a talent, but their door are not open. When I speak of the door is also, there are schools in this country, and these schools, they need art subjects, but it's not really much implemented, even though the art subject is there. What is that door? Where that we can see them, that they're also now in schools, and the basic, to teach the basic from primary school to secondary school, so that we can break down that gap that when the student is now grade 12, don't know where to go, fail to go to university, but then they find out he was a gifted talent, bring him to the college, but all those years that child could pursue it just like mathematics, like science, understand? So in that way is where I look that we have to look at that. How are we involved in this as a unity? How do we develop this industry? You see, so it has become an individual growth where we only look at artists, but artists are creators. Somebody must then look at it, even though they are forcing, no, artists must become marketing strategies, must become entrepreneurs. You are taking somebody out of his zone just that they can please themselves to market, but there's those who are given that gift, that employed for that, but they are not doing that. You see, can be curators, can be directors, can be collectors of art. What is that culture? Because those are also art cultures. You see, if the curator is there or the collector is there, cooperative is there, they are curators because what do they beautify their buildings with, You see, so why we don't create that culture of that? Yes, we have artists there. They cannot even go to school and teach, but they have the gift. We don't want to have people on the street or young people on the street. So they turn into intellectual, like in technology art now. You see, so they are now in technology art. It's good because it's but I don't want to lose the emotion of human and humility of human beings to be creative people. You understand? So all of us cannot say that the art in the country is progressive. It cannot become progressive if we as human, mother and father, and the whole Namibia are not part and parcel to develop it. You know, for me it's like that because I look at art as a self-human being and also as somebody who brings life to them. But they don't recognize that artists make life for them. They are the life of light. They make your dressings fashion design. They make your chairs as carpenters. They make the building as architecturers. So it's the artists. They make the money that you have. Coins is designed by artists. The cell phone you have. You see, that's only where we are not really sitting down and say, how can the art go beyond that we teach as painters, but beyond of how can Namibia start to have their own design of manufacturing by artist designers, own computer designed by our own self, looking also from our perspective, value and cultural identity and indigenous knowledge. You understand? Not looking at the foreign influence. You understand? Because a country can only become a better country if it looks from its cultural perspective, you know, not perfection, you know. So for me, it's where, my sister, I look at that. I can say art is good, but if I'm very not a denial person, I can see that, but it's real that my child, 2030, can he make it? If I can be realistic, I can say, no, we have created them. But it is the generation 230 or 240 or to the 260, they say 2060. We pave that way, you know. And art can be done anytime. As an artist from the 90s and been a teacher in art since I started and became an administrator at the John Mafangio Art Center and become now an art lecturer from 2010 at the College of the Arts, but still pursue my art. So an artist, you are created already, is within you. If you are working as a graphic designer, working as a nurse, that does not have to stop you to be creative. That must sponsor you. It's like a donation to yourself. To be able then, that's why when I started teaching and also started making music, is to boost my economy for buying my material and the equipment that I want from what I'm teaching. But I'm creating art because art is a spiritual being. Art have also a moment and a feeling when you can create. You don't force art. You see, so you can also make your mind to relax. Your mind needs to balance, so your mind needs to sleep. So it's a career. If we see it that if these artists are very creative and they also want to be sustainable, so what do we do as a country? Why we don't look at it? We have resources in this country. Sorry to say that. I don't want to be political, but because I always look at politics in poverty, art in color. You see, so when you look at it and say that these are artists of our country, just like you give the pension, you give disabled people, we are realistic, we can see artists. So what can we give them benefits? You see, I can be an artist for all the years, but I know if I get old, I have no pension. I have no medical aid. I have no house allowance. But because we don't have an effective art and cultural policy that is implemented and gazetted. So it's where we go, like I'm telling you, it's a collective thing. So if that was there and they used the policy of arts and culture and creative industry, maybe this question me and you having could be already solved. Because then every institution, every company, every human being will then understand, because on their table they have a policy that cater the art industry and the arts society. So yes, you can have a career and you can also have a job. So it depends, when we create that path, what is the vision about it? Yeah, what do we want to achieve with it? Yeah, do we want to keep on that way, or do we want to achieve a society where we realize Around the corner, if I come in Oshwarongo, there's a creative arts center and a studio for musicians or a fashion design. You see? Where we create everywhere because we think the city is the one that have artists. No, the artist is in the rural area. The artist is in the village. The pure creative artist that is better than me, the unknown, is in the farm. Are we doing justice to that? Because in our generation, in the 90s, that's what we used to do. We used to go into the regions, to schools, to teacher resource centers, to College of Education, those time, College of Ngwediva College of Education, Rundu. We used to go to the people. But as much as we think we are now developed, we are intellectual with technology, I realized we became lazy. We don't go to people anymore. And that's what have to become, people to people. Let's go to people. Let's look for a resource where we can find honey and then use that bee honey to serve the arts out there. Because you will speak a nice thing that you look at craft. Because of the society and intellectual division, when they look at craft, basket, pottery making, our way of making our dresses or our beads, they look at it like it's not fine art. What is fine art? You see? So that's the thing already. Human beings have already created a form that they use a form to decide to give them names. But if you look at crafts and you look at that, it's art itself. If you look at the Kavango doing a small sculpture, not because it's commercial, and they make a lot of elephants, a lot of ostrich, or a lot of giraffes, now it looks like it's craft. What is art? Art is creative. And what is creative is innovative. And what is innovative? Invent. You invent it. It is there. You understand? So it is well also that a dialogue must be also in our countries to understand it so that we can see how do we also then cooperate. Like when I'm at the college, I always think that if there was just a division where craft is also taught, because it's an institution, and it's art and craft is also education, because you transfer the gift and the talent, So if all this can come into like, you see, this is a former student of the College of the Arts. But then I thought, if we get the blanket from Pep, and just take the African chitengi, and then can you make me a warm jacket? It's from craft, but it's fashion design. We just don't want to understand and be realistic that those are also things that hinder us where we look at craft and we don't value it. Then when we look at fine art, because it's in the source of United Nations or UNESCO or those things, because it's under that Commonwealth. So we also then have to rethink. We need to rethink. So the same as medias, we need to rethink that how do we really break this? Look at China. China is using what to be rich? It's art. Go to Sweden, music. Go to America, who makes America money? The Hollywood, who are they? It's artists. Why is it not in our mind and realistic? How do you don't take that to media and show the people stage what? Look, this is what it is. Why do you always have to show me that doctorate, master, qualification? Why do you don't just come to reality and realize that there is a self-education, there is a gift in some of the people, and all of us will never be the same, but we have to be and acknowledge that we are all human.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
Next, Patricia Coetzee caught up with Jo Marie Ortner, a Namibian YouTuber who embarked on her digital journey in 2021.
Tell us a bit more, what degree is this and where did you study, and what was this journey like to get this degree?
Alright, so I just completed my bachelor's degree in media and journalism technology. I majored in public relations. I think the more you get into it, it becomes really, really a challenge. It can become really hectic, but honestly, just having a clear mind and just staying focused really just allows you to go through the whole entire journey. I've really, really enjoyed the journey so far, and now I'm doing my honors degree, which is so much better, and it just gives me different perspectives. It adds on to what I've already been exposed to.
Yeah. Also, I'm studying my honors. How is the balance for you personally with work life and study life? How do you actually, like, the energy levels, having to say, okay, after work I have to go to class, or after work I have to do this assignment? How do you manage to balance all of that?
I think honestly saying that I'm able to manage it is a lie. I'm in a totally new industry now in hospitality, so there's so much to learn and there's so much to catch up with, and also just the degree itself is quite time consuming and it requires so much of your energy and all of that. So, but I try and balance it all, having a proper schedule for myself, prioritizing what needs to be prioritized, making sure that I do enough at work so that I don't carry it on later on, because after work I have a whole entire degree that I'm trying to finish and that I'm battling with. So that makes it really easy when you have a proper plan for yourself and a schedule that really works, and also allows you to have some free time for yourself to just recoup.
Yeah, exactly. So what we can say that your advice is just for those who are trying to balance is time management, definitely, and knowing what's your priority.
Alright, so obviously priorities differ from person to person.
Yeah.
But having a proper plan, I usually like to take my Sundays out to just plan for the week ahead.
Yeah.
It allows me to just get a perspective, know what, when and where I can relax and just take a breather. But it really also just allows me to keep up with what's happening at school, what I need to do for work, and it makes life so much easier because then I'm not overwhelmed by anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, just getting a proper plan for yourself that works.
Yes, that's actually great advice, because I know it's quite difficult. The working life is more demanding than anyone ever prepares you.
Especially coming out of university, I think you're right. Nobody really ever prepares you for what's about to hit you.
Yeah, that's true, because I know it's been quite a struggle for me to find that work-student life balance. It's so crazy. So before the break, we got to know how Jo Marie balances the work and study life. You say that you are now chasing your degree, your honors degree at NAS. How has that been for you? Like, is compared to getting your degree itself and now getting your honors, what's the difference for you?
I think there's definitely a change in demand in terms of, okay, I think with the honors degree, it's a bit more challenging. You are obviously on a whole new level. I'm doing this marketing degree for the very first time, and it's a bit different from the PR that I did in the previous year. It's been such a wonderful experience, actually. I'm learning so much from my lecturers, and I'm having so much fun.
Awesome, that sounds great. I mean, of course, but honors degree would be expected to be more difficult than your usual degree. If I'm not mistaken, honors is more research-based.
Very much so, and I think that's the number one challenge that we face as, people that are venturing into this new degree. Yeah. The research has you by the neck. Honestly, I feel like that's the number one thing that you're challenged with. However, it's a really wonderful journey. You learn so much and so many skills that you get to use in your career.
That's great. So before we continue with that, Jo Marie, I understand that before you stepped into, let's say, the grown-up world, this is the grown-up world now, where you're a working woman. You used to be a YouTuber, or you are still in that field, or can you tell us more about that part of your life?
So I started YouTube, I think, about 2 years ago. The journey has been wonderful. I've learned so much about myself and just the people around me. This year I took a different step into the YouTube journey. I started creating content that I relate with a bit more.
The flour.
The flour.
I'll focus on the butter, and once it's melted, you can throw in the flour.
So has YouTube, being a
Kira.
YouTuber, always
Okay.
always been a part of the plan? Or is it just something that you just decided one day, I'll just wake up and start YouTubing?
So growing up, I used to watch a lot of YouTube. This was now the time of Eva Kutowski, a lot of these American YouTubers. And YouTube wasn't really a thing for us in Africa at the time.
Yeah.
So once it became a popular
You were
app,
like, I'm jumping
jumping on this. But I also didn't want to jump prematurely. I didn't want to jump when I didn't have the right equipment. And I watch so many videos and they always say you will never really get it right. So just start. I started my journey. It has been wonderful. But I'm sure, as all of us know, doing YouTube in Namibia has a lot of challenges. Monetization is not as easy as other countries. And I think that's a limitation that we have, and it makes it difficult for us to actually pursue it as a whole entire career.
Yeah.
Hence why so many YouTubers actually stop.
Yeah.
So for me, it has become more of a time to relax and just unwind and just
some fun.
share. Not really for monetization purposes, but it would have been a nice, experience.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna stop right now. I think I'm just taking a bit of a hiatus or like a break.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
While I focus on my career.
Yes, exactly. You need to prioritize for a second. Especially with school now, as we said, that honors is way more difficult than a degree. So if you had to focus so much on your YouTubing, it would have been 3 ways now, where your attention needs to be split into thirds.
And you barely get time for yourself, because now people become so attached to you. They want you to constantly create content on social media, on YouTube, and there's this constant demand for you uploading.
Yeah.
And it becomes quite a challenge because you can't keep up with that anymore at the same pace, especially.
Yeah. No, I understand that completely.
Well, I was still talking about how people become so attached and they want more from you.
Yeah.
Not realizing that you're actually focusing on your career now, and it makes it really difficult for you to constantly upload when you are trying to make it in this industry that it's quite a demanding industry. It's quite a challenge. Everyone wants a piece of the cake, so you really need to prioritize a lot of your...
milk in here to get that texture that we want. So it's the melting of the butter, then some flour, and then just throw in milk little by little until you get the texture that you want. So Jo-Marie, let's talk about high school, Jo-Marie. Because I always feel like that's the stage of your life where you really get to know who you are. You can throw in some more milk. So you can just keep the milk in your hands because we're going to throw in a lot. In high school, Jo-Marie, did she always know that this was the industry that she was going to dive into?
I definitely think it was, but not really until later on in my high school career in grade 11 or so. Initially, I wanted to become a medical doctor, which didn't work out, obviously. And I'm really glad it didn't, because I got into this new path and I just discovered how much I love it, and I would not trade it for anything in the world. So I love it so much.
Wow.
There's
Okay,
opened
to
so
move
many
from
doors.
a medical doctor to a journalist, way more honey.
Yeah.
It's quite...
I really enjoyed English. I had on higher level. So I really enjoyed writing essays and just being creative with my brain, with my mind and just my words. So then eventually I started to research more on different careers that were available for me. I think also at the time I felt quite limited because people only considered medicine, law, or engineering. So me getting into this new industry, my parents felt like that was quite a concern for them.
Mostly also because they didn't understand it.
Yeah, they didn't. They kept asking me how I'm gonna, finance all of these things. How am I gonna make it? Because there are not a lot of job opportunities.
Exactly.
However, right now we are on demand. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, it is quite... When the thing is, when it comes to journalism or communication in general, there's a lot of opportunities. You just need to be very smart with where you study, what you major in, and networking is a vital part of this.
I think also for me, just majoring in public relations has opened so many doors for me because I can be at any company and take up space. I always say it doesn't get easier. When you're in university, you're going to think you're overwhelmed because you're doing your studies. 5 years from then, you're going to get married, start having a family. It never gets easier. It all just depends on how well you plan your time. Time management is really important. And just having a proper plan for yourself. Making sure that you take the necessary breaks when you need to. And spend time with your family and friends just to unwind.
Thank you for tuning in today. If you know of someone you feel should feature on our show, please contact us at brave@synergy.com.na.